Hello, and welcome to the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh's Kids Club at Home. My name is Kevin, and once again, I'm really happy that you could join us. Now, in honor of Black History Month, and in recognition of the historical legacy of Negro League baseball here in Pittsburgh, this week we will be imagining and creating sports team logos that represent your neighborhood, town, city, or really just wherever you are. Now, I enjoy getting to do this because it gives me a chance to think about what makes where I am special, and gives me a challenge of representing that specialness in a symbol, a logo in this case. Now, caregivers, literacy is not all about letters and words. It's about images as well. This is called visual literacy. And that practice of creating or reading pictures is called picture reading. And it involves making meaning just like reading text does. And this skill is really important to develop in a society and really a world that has as much visual communication with symbols and graphs and graphics as ours does. So before we get started, let's do this week's icebreaker. And since we're thinking about sports this week, I want to know, who is your favorite athlete or just person that plays sports? Is it someone who plays sports here in Pittsburgh on the Penguins, Pirates, Steelers? Maybe you have an uncle who's like really good at basketball. But who's your favorite athlete or person that plays sports? This is a tough one for me, but I think right now, at least, my favorite athlete is Aaron Judge on the New York Yankees. He plays right field for them, and there are a lot of really cool things about him. He's an enormous person. He's 6'7", 280 pounds. He hits really long home runs, and he's really good at catching, throwing, running. He's pretty much good at everything that you want a baseball player to be good at. Plus, he wears the number 99, and that's always cool. So what about you? Who's your favorite athlete or person that plays sports? Let us know in the comments where comments are open. So as I said, today's activity is inspired by Negro League baseball and their historical importance to the city of Pittsburgh. Now, if you don't know, the Negro Leagues were where many black baseball players played baseball at a time when they were not allowed to play in the major leagues. And believe it or not, Pittsburgh had two of the best Negro League teams in the whole country. You had the Homestead Grays and the Pittsburgh Crawfords. Now, the Homestead Grays played in, you guessed it, Homestead, but eventually moved to Oakland and played not that far from the main library. And then the Pittsburgh Crawfords played in the Hill District at Greenleaf Field. And of course, the Pirates were here too, so at one point, Pittsburgh had 3 baseball teams in just this one city. Can you imagine that? It's pretty cool. So we'll be designing sports team logos for our own made-up teams that represent our own neighborhoods or places that we live. Now, you may have supplies for this activity that you have gotten in a grab-and-go kit from a select CLP location. Your grown-up can call 412-622-3114 to learn more about this. But if you don't have this activity kit, this supply kit, that's totally fine. You'll just need a few things. You'll need colored pencils, markers, crayons, something to draw with, and something to draw on. So a couple pieces of paper are just fine. So let's start by thinking about our neighborhoods and where we live. Give it a shot. What's special about your neighborhood? Are there special groups of people or communities that live where you live? Are there cool animals or plants, festivals or traditions? Special geographic features like hills or rivers or mountains or whatever. Start to think about what makes your neighborhood special. And you can also just think about really cool names. After all, it's not like there are actual pirates or penguins here in Pittsburgh. So for me, to help me think about what my imaginary sports team logo and name might be, I'm going to start brainstorming, which really means I'm just going to write down a whole bunch of ideas quickly that come to mind when I think about my neighborhood, which is Shadyside. So I'm gonna sit here thinking about Shadyside and just write things down that come to mind. And maybe on that big list of Shadyside specific ideas and places, there will be an idea for what my sports team will be. You'll be able to see me do it, and I'll show you what I come up with when I'm done. So I've finished brainstorming ideas for my sports team name, and here's what I've come up with. Let's take a look. Hopefully you can see that. So you'll see that I started off with a whole bunch of animals because really when I think about my neighborhood, for some reason right away I think about all the animals I see. Crows, dogs being walked by their humans, rabbits, turkeys, I think blue jays are on here too. So a lot of animals came to mind right away. And then some other things as well. Some trees and shade, of course, and I realized that Shadyside's really, really flat, unlike the rest of Pittsburgh. Now, also while doing this, I realized that I don't know a whole lot about the history of my neighborhood, and that might be a thing for me to look up at some point so I can learn more about where I live now. So I have a bunch of ideas here, all words and phrases that come to mind when I think of Shadyside, and maybe I can use this to help me decide my sports team name. Now, you might think this is a little ridiculous, but this one right here, turkeys, that's really calling out to me. And there's a reason turkeys is on this list, because when I first moved here to Pittsburgh, one of the very first things I saw was a small group, gaggle, crowd, I don't know, of turkeys just walking down Fifth Avenue like they own the place. Big turkeys too. And I thought that was like the coolest thing, and I will never ever forget it. And since then, I've seen turkeys around Shadyside a few more times. So I think turkeys might be an idea, but I don't want it to be the Shadyside turkeys. I want it to be more fierce, stronger, more determined. So maybe the Shadyside Gobblers. That's it. They gobble up the competition. And I've decided that the Shadyside Gobblers, my new sports team, they play basketball because Pittsburgh doesn't have a basketball team and should totally have one. So what about you? I've got my team name. Did you brainstorm to come up with ideas? Did brainstorming help you? Did you choose something that represents your neighborhood or just something really cool that you like the sound of? Now that we have our ideas for our sports team name, it's time to design our logos. And as you may have noticed if you look closely, many sports team logos have aspects of that sport in the logo. The Pittsburgh Penguin is holding a hockey stick. The Pirates have a cross of baseball bats right behind the Pirates' really fierce looking face. So I want my Shadyside Gobblers to have a basketball or a basketball hoop or something basketball related in the design as well. So you can start to think about how you might incorporate pieces of your sports into your design, or just forget that altogether and just draw a design that looks super awesome. I'm going to get to work on my design and we'll take a look at it together, and I'm excited to see yours as well. Finished my logo, so now it's time to show you the Shadyside Gobblers. Pretty intimidating, right? Now you can see that I've got the basketball front and center, and then it's almost just like a half circle of turkey feathers behind it, and I really sort of ran out of room to write Shadyside in here somewhere. I had planned to write it here along the top, but as my feathers grew larger and more awesome, I ran out of space. So maybe you could think about where you would put Shadyside in my logo. Maybe in the feathers? In the basketball? I'm not sure, but if I were to do that again, this would be something I would plan for. Where will Shadyside, the word, definitely be? So how did your logo turn out? Did you include parts of the sport in your logo? Like a basketball, a baseball, a football, a soccer ball, whatever it is? You could do it all over again. Would you do anything different, like I would, with planning where Shadyside would be? Overall, how was the experience for you? How does your logo represent where you live? So for the next step, I'm going to do just a little bit of writing about my amazing team, the Gobblers. And to help me with that, I'm going to think about the 5 W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. Answering those questions in writing can really help you along. For example, who is on your team? Where do they play? What are their colors? When did the team start playing? And why do their fans love them so much? Now, caregivers, this framework, the 5 W's, is not perfect for everything, but it can really help both reluctant and prolific writers alike. For struggling writers, it can give them just a very accessible way to start their writing. And for really prolific writers, it can help them reflect on what they've written, to make sure that all the important information is in there. Either way, it's a valuable tool to becoming a strong writer and also to identifying elements of a story, which makes for a strong reading comprehender. So I'm going to get started on my writing now, and I'm definitely going to read it to you when I'm done. So I finished writing about my beloved Shadyside Gobblers. Here it is. And I'm going to read it to you. Let's see what you think. The Shadyside Gobblers are a professional basketball team located in the Shadyside neighborhood of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Founded in 1986 after the Great Turkey Invasion of 1985, the Gobblers play in the Hunt Armory, the historic building on Emerson Street. They are known for their fast-paced style of play, for the fans' unique chants such as "Gobble Gobble Go," and for the world-famous Hunt Strut, a dance that many fans do after a Gobbler victory. Their main rival is the Squirrel Hill Nuts. So that's a little bit about the Shadyside Gobblers. What about your team? If you did some writing, did you address just a couple of the W's we talked about? Or maybe you tried to get them all? Did it help you imagine this team a little bit more vividly? Either way, maybe you could read what you wrote to somebody nearby. I really enjoyed the process of coming up with my sports team logo, and I hope you did as well. And we would love to see what you came up with. So please take a picture of your logo and leave it in the comments where possible, or tag us, or somehow get it to us, because we would love to see your local pride in action. Bet whatever you did is amazing. If you have suggestions for future activities for us to do together at Kids Club, we would love to hear those as well. You can leave those in the comments where comments are open. You can find us on Twitter as @Carnegie Library, or on Facebook by searching Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. If you'd like to learn more about Black baseball players in Pittsburgh and a little bit around the country as well, you should check out the photo gallery courtesy of Sports Illustrated Kids in the links. The pictures were taken by Pittsburgh's own Teenie Harris and show Black baseball players of all ages posing and playing and just generally bringing this amazing history to life. If you're looking for book recommendations, we have two great ones as well. The first is a picture book biography called Mamie on the Mound, a woman in baseball's Negro leagues. It's written by Leah Henderson and illustrated by George Doutsiopoulo, and tells the real-life amazing story of Mamie Peanut Johnson, one of 3 women to play in the Negro leagues. And of course, with this month's theme of the Black family, we have to highlight the Williams sisters. And through that, we can use the picture book biography, Game Changers, the story of Venus and Serena Williams. It's written and illustrated by Lesa Cline-Ransome and James Ransome, and tells the story of these amazing tennis-playing siblings who belong right up there in the pantheon of Black athletes in America, along with Pittsburgh's own Josh Gibson and his family. Both of these books can be checked out on OverDrive or Libby, and once you do so, they'll be available for you to read on your screen right away. You can also check out our amazing book lists on our website, carnegielibrary.org, including the African American book list for kids. And of course, if you want more recommendations from us, please reach out to us anywhere we're online, and we'd be happy to help you out. If you don't have a library card but are interested in getting one, we can help you with that too. You can just visit carnegielibrary.org, or you can give us a call at 412-622-3114, and someone will be happy to help you out. Thanks for watching Kids Club at Home. Please tag us at Carnegie Library and share what you've made today. And keep an eye out for grab-and-go kits at your neighborhood CLP locations. We miss you, we hope you had fun creating with us today, and we'll see you next time.